Hey everybody, this is Kerry with Walkin on the Boulevard podcast. We're currently about 3 weeks away from the kickoff of Elvis Week 2018, and in this podcast I'm going to talk about some events that are going to be taking place in Memphis during Elvis Week, so stay tuned.
How's everybody doing today? This is my first time performing at the tent over here in Memphis, so I'm really excited. Alright, let's kick it off with the first song. I could ride around the world in an all-rock sky, never let another girl fill my heart. Ain't got a love for you, baby. Ain't got a love for you, baby. Ain't got a love for you, so I can meet a bunch of girls, have a lots of fun. All in my kissing, and all do just one. Ain't got a love for you, baby. And I love you, baby. And I love you, baby. And I love you so.
This week's episode is dealing with events at Elvis Week 2018. Now this year Elvis Week is kicking off on the 9th, that's a Thursday. It's only one event, but it's a good one, the Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist Contest Showcase. It's $20 and it's going to be taking place at the Guest House Theater at 1 p.m. That's in the Guest House at Graceland, which is right next door to Graceland, and it's right across the street from where the crossing and the plaza used to be. On Friday, August 10th, there will be a trip to Elvis's birthplace in Tupelo, Mississippi. If you've never been there, it's a lot of fun, but it's nothing like Elvis Week. It's nothing like the Memphis area during Elvis Week anyway. There's the little house that Elvis supposedly was born in. There are rumors that house was donated to the fire department in the 70s and burned down, and a replica was built, but I haven't really been able to find out if that's true or not. But anyway, you can go there, check out the birth house. There's a museum over there, the church where I think Elvis attended, and some of Elvis's relatives also lived in that area, so you may be able to see their houses. So if you're interested in that, it's $99 for adults and $79 for children age 5 to 12. Children under 5 are not permitted. Wow, I bet there's going to be some pissed off 4-year-olds. Also, that same day there is the Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist Contest meet and greet. So if you're interested in meeting the semi-finalists from this year, which there's some really good ones, if you pay attention to some of my other podcasts, I named the semi-finalists up to that point. So be sure and check that out if you're interested in meeting those guys. The only way to get access to this event is by purchasing the $219 VIP ticket option. That's a lot of money. But if you're a really big fan, I can see you wanting to spend that kind of money. A little too rich for my blood, but who knows? I mean, if you're really into one of these tribute artists, you may want to meet them. Of course, there are cheaper options for meeting them. You can go to one of their shows. A lot of them have shows that are $20, $30 a piece, and they have meet and greets at a lot of those shows. Then there is the Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist Contest semi-final round. I've only been to the Ultimate one time, and it was the year that Bill Cherry came. And what they were doing then, I'm not sure if they're still doing it this way, but each performer would come out and do, I think it was one song, and then the judges would well, no, I think it was one song, one or maybe two songs. Maybe it may have been two songs they would do, and then they would pick who was going on to the next round. So that is they're showing three different prices on that. There's the $219 ticket, $139 ticket, and a $35 ticket. Huge price difference there. This is going to be taking place at the Graceland Soundstage, which is in the new Elvis Presley's Memphis complex. So I'm assuming you're also going to have a ticket to the complex. I'm not sure if that's included. That may be included, especially in that $219 ticket. That's a lot of money to spend. Saturday, August 11th, there is the Mississippi Delta Blues Tour. It departs from the guest house at Graceland at 8:30 a.m. and returns at 6:30 p.m. This is $119 for adults, $89 for children age 5 to 12, and once again, anyone under 5 not allowed. So I'm picturing right now some 4-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 2-year-olds, 1-year-olds, and some babies picketing these events. Because I know I would be really mad if I was 3 years old and told I couldn't go. Whew, I'd be pitching a fit. Now this includes the Gateway to the Blues Museum, Delta Blues Museum, Grammy Museum, Mississippi, Southern Sounds at Dockery Farms, and lunch. Lunch on your own at it says lunch on your own at Ground Zero Blues Club in Clarksdale, Mississippi. Also, they will be having the 36th annual Elvis 5K run benefiting Live It Up. It starts at 8 a.m. Then it starts and ends at the gates of Graceland. I've done this race 2 or 3 times in the old days. It's the 5K is right over 3 miles. It's not a hard run. It's just that it's August, so it's going to be really, really hot. So just be prepared to do a whole lot of sweating. It's a lot of fun though. I mean, you get to you're running right by Elvis's house and through those little neighborhoods over there. So that's kind of cool. Next up, listening party for Where No One Stands Alone album release featuring Lisa Marie Presley. This is at 1 p.m. at the Graceland Soundstage in Elvis Presley's Memphis. It's $30, but if Lisa Marie is going to be there, that's kind of cool. So if you're somebody who hasn't been to Elvis Week or hasn't been very often, you never had an opportunity to see Lisa Marie up close and personal, this would be a good opportunity. And $30, that's not too bad. See, she will also be joined by co-producer Joel Weinshanker. He's the head of the company that owns controlling interest in EPE, in case you're wondering, and also Andy Childs and John Jackson. I'm not sure who John Jackson is, although there was a John Jackson that was on the TV show Jag, but I'm guessing that's not going to be him. So check that out. Also look out for the Where No One Stands Alone album. I think that's coming out on the 10th too, and it should be really cool. It's got a new song. It's got a new duet with Elvis Presley and Lisa Marie doing Where No One Stands Alone. And lastly, on the 11th, there is Elvis the Greatest Hits Ultimate Tribute Artist Show. This is at 7 p.m. at the Graceland Soundstage at Elvis Presley's Memphis, and the tickets are $219, $139, and $59. Let's see, this will include ETA Ultimate Elvis winners Bill Cherry, Cody Slaughter, and Gordon Hendricks, and an extra guest, Victor Trevino Jr. This is a three-day package, includes tickets to the semifinal round, ETA show, and final round. That's the $219 one and the $139 one. So check that out if you're interested in the Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist competition. On Sunday, August 12th, is the Elvis Presley Fan Club President's event. This is at 10 a.m. at the Graceland Soundstage, Elvis Presley's Memphis. Tickets there are $25. It's going to be hosted by Argo, who's on Elvis Radio. Special guests for the events will be Rex and Elizabeth Mansfield. It says Rex was inducted into the Army on the same day as Elvis in March of 1958 and went through basic training with him in Texas. So that's kind of cool. That's $25. Up next is the auction at Graceland. This is taking place at 12:30 p.m. at the Guest House Theater at the Guest House at Graceland. It's free to attend, but you must register to bid. So if you're gonna go in there and try to buy something, make sure you register ahead of time. I might actually check that out. That's pretty cool. The Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist Contest final round. This is at 7 p.m. at the Graceland Soundstage. We're doing a lot of stuff at that soundstage, which is pretty cool. And this is in Elvis Presley's Memphis complex. The tickets are, once again, $219, $139, and $59. Now, $59, maybe I could swing that one year, but $219, I'd have to sell a whole lot of 816 DVDs. Alright, on Monday, August 13th, this is my sister's birthday and also my friends Anna and Scott's anniversary. This, what will be happening this day is Elvis Presley's Memorial Trauma Center fan reception. This is at 10 a.m. to noon. It's at Elvis Presley Memorial Trauma Center at Regional 1 Health, 877 Jefferson Avenue, Memphis. This is free, so if you're looking for something that's not going to cost you any money, check that out. Elvis Presley's Memorial Trauma Center fan reception. Up next is the Elvis fan reunion. This is at 1 p.m. at the Grand Ballroom at the Guest House at Graceland. Tickets are only $10 for this, so this is a good price on something. A lot of stuff that you'll see during Elvis Week is going to be really, really pricey. I mean, it's just going up every year. I remember buying tickets to one of the Elvis concerts in 2002 or 2007. It was like $25. Now it's, gosh, ridiculous. $219 to go to the Ultimate. It's just crazy. But the Elvis fan reunion is at 1 p.m. at the Grand Ballroom. It's $10. Elvis Week host for the special event will be Norbert Putnam, who played bass for Elvis. So that's cool. So go check that out if that interests you. Up next is Darlene Love in concert, 7 p.m. at the Graceland Soundstage. It's $55 for a ticket. This is funny. I was reading this one a minute ago. It says she was one of Rolling Stone's 100 greatest singers of all time. I'm going to have to look her up because I've never heard of this person, Darlene Love, unless she was in a band or something. Okay, it says she was a lead singer for the Blossoms. Okay, that makes more sense. And she sang with Elvis in the 68 Comeback Special. So go check that out. That's $55. That's a lot of money, but if you're a big fan of Darlene Love, she's one of the 100 greatest singers of all time, according to Rolling Stone. So make sure you check that out if you are a believer in what Rolling Stone says. Up next is the Elvis Week Dance Party. This is at from 9 p.m. until midnight at the Grand Ballroom at the Guest House. This is $25. Join DJ Argo as he spins your favorite Elvis records while you dance the night away. I went to one of the dance parties at the birthday celebration one year. I'm not a dancer, so I just sat around drinking a beer. It was kind of boring to me. I could have saved $25 and just, bought more beer. But if you're into that kind of stuff, a lot of people like to dance, so I'm not knocking that. If that's your thing, go have fun. And Argo's a cool guy. He's a fun guy to watch. So anyway, check it out if that interests you. On Tuesday, August the 14th, they'll be having Conversations on Elvis co-stars. So these are cool. I've been to several of the conversations. They're a lot of fun. Yeah, you get to see a lot of the people that either were friends with Elvis or worked with Elvis, telling stories from their experiences with him. This takes place at 10 a.m. at the Graceland Soundstage. It's $25 for a ticket. You can hear from some of those who shared the big screen with Elvis, one of his 32 feature films. It's hosted by Tom Brown. Confirmed guests at this point are Darlene Love, who I mentioned just a second ago, Michael Dante, who co-starred with Elvis in Kid Galahad, Millie Perkins, who co-starred in Wild in the Country, and Guinea I'm not sure how to pronounce this. It's Tiu, Guinea Chew maybe, who co-starred in Girls, Girls, Girls. So if that interests you, if you're into the Elvis movies or you want to meet some celebrities who've worked with Elvis, go check that out. Up next is Inside the Archives. This one sounds kind of cool to me. I always wonder about all the stuff we've never seen before that's just sitting there waiting for a moment for them to grab it and put it out for us to see. Inside the Archives. It's 3 p.m. at the Guest House Theater. It's free, so you might as well go check it out. It's going to be hosted by Tom Brown and Angie Marchese. So check that out, and you might see some stuff you've never seen before. Up next is the Founders Reception, and this is only going to be available to people who are founders of the Guest House at Graceland. Whenever they first announced they were building this, they made a special opportunity where you could basically, it's kind of like a timeshare deal where you're paying a monthly fee, and then you get a certain amount of days in the guest house at Graceland, but you still have to pay for those days, only you get a reduced rate. It's still a whole lot of money, but if you're a diehard Elvis fan and you've got the money to spend, there are a lot of perks that go along with it. I know a couple of years ago, my friend Anna, she's a founder, and they were giving out gifts to all the founders, and she got a magazine from the 1950s, so that's a pretty cool gift. This takes place from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. in the Founders Room. And it doesn't give a lot of information. It just says details for this event will be sent directly to the founders via email. So if you are a founder and you want to check it out, that's 5 to 6 p.m. on the 14th of August. Up next, the last event listed for the 14th is the Gospel Music of Elvis Presley Celebration Concert. 7 p.m. at the Graceland Soundstage. It's $55 for a ticket. Let's see. Special guest performers for the event include former members of J.D. Summers and the Stamps Quartet, Bill Bays, Donnie Sumner, interviewed him, Larry Strickland, and Ed Hill, as well as the Imperials featuring Terry Blackwood, Daryl Toney, and Lynn Royce Taylor. So that's cool. So if you haven't got an opportunity to meet any of these people, this would be a good opportunity to possibly get yourself an autograph and a picture with them.
Some kids born with a silver spoon. I guess that I was born a little too soon. Hot dogs, all I ever knew were hot dogs. And I'm telling you, I said you better beware, 'cause I've had my share. Some kids born rich as a king, but I was born without a doggone thing. Hot dogs, all I ever knew were hot dogs. And I'm telling you, I said you better beware, 'cause I've had my share. I walked 2,000,000 miles a day, tired and hungry and I'm cold away. I heard that lonesome whistle blow from New York City down to Mexico. Some kids born fancy free, but nobody never gave nothing to me but hot dogs. All I ever knew were hot dogs. And I'm telling you, I said you better beware, 'cause I've had my share. I walked 2,000,000 miles a day, tired and hungry and I'm cold away. I heard that lonesome whistle blow from New York City down to Mexico. Some kids born rich as a king, but I was born without a doggone thing. Well, hot dogs, all I ever knew were hot dogs. And I'm telling you, I said you better beware, 'cause I've had my share. You bet. I said you better beware, 'cause I've had my share. I said you better beware, 'cause I've had my share. I'm not. Thank you.
Next day, August 15th. This is the big day. This is when this is my favorite day at the 10, because you have all the really good performers that day, or all the best performers anyway. August 15th, it's going to be Conversations on Elvis Gospel at 10 a.m. at the Soundstage. That's $30. It's going to be hosted by Andy Childs. And let's see who's going to be there. Confirmed guests include Dr. Emily Sissy Houston, who was a member of the Sweet Inspirations, former members of the Stamps Quartet, Ed Hill, Donnie Sumner, Bill Bays, and Larry Strickland, Terry Blackwood, Jimmy Murray, and Armand Marsalis, who performed with Elvis as part of the Imperials. So if that interests you, make sure you check it out. I've met most of those people, and they're pretty cool. They had an event they were at the guest house whenever the guest house first opened. I did not have a ticket to the event, but they were right out there in the open signing autographs, so I just walked over and got in line, got an autograph and a picture with all of them. They're all very, very friendly. Up next is a musical salute to Elvis. This takes place at 4:30 p.m. at the Graceland Soundstage. It's $25 for a ticket. This concert, the afternoon before the Candlelight Vigil, will celebrate both Elvis's music and the music that influenced him. It's starring rockabilly and outlaw country artist Dale Watson. I'm not sure who that is, but look him up. He might be pretty popular. $25 for that event if it interests you. The biggest event of Elvis Week, it has to be the biggest event of Elvis Week, is the Candlelight Vigil. It says this kicks off at 8:30. Now they say this is free, but this is really not going to be free anymore because they're requiring you to have a property pass. And they say the property pass is free, but the property pass is not free. It's free with the purchase of a ticket to Elvis Presley's Memphis, which last year was the cheapest one was $28.50. I have not found out what it's going to cost this year. Hopefully it won't be any more, and it'd be really nice if it was a whole lot cheaper. So if you want to be able to carry a candle up to Elvis's grave, which has been free in the past up until last year, but if you want to do that this year, it's going to cost you about almost $30 at least. So Candlelight Vigil is really popular event. There's thousands of people who come to it. Now you don't have to have a property pass to stand in the middle of the road. If you just want to stand in the middle of the road and pay your respects that way, you don't have to. But if it's anything like last year, you're going to have to go through security checkpoints, which is a pain in the butt. Every time you walk over to the restroom, when you come back, they got to go through all your stuff again. It's a real pain. I don't know why they're doing that. But anyway, so if you want to go pay your respects by carrying a candle up to the meditation gardens, you're going to have to pay $30. August 16th, but this is the day that Elvis Presley passed away. There's the Tupelo, Mississippi birthplace of Elvis Presley excursion. So they're doing this a second time. Once again, that's $99 for adults, $79 for children age 5 to 12. If you're under 5, you're screwed. You're not going, you're staying home. Up next is Conversations on Elvis 68 Special. This takes place at 10 a.m. at the Graceland Soundstage. A lot of the stuff is early in the morning, so I wouldn't drink too much at night or you're going to be going there with a hangover. This costs $25. It's going to be hosted by Tom Brown, and it features Steve Bender, who conceived, directed, and produced the 68 Special. That's pretty cool. There's a typo here. They're missing the L on special. Good job, Elvis.com, or Graceland.com, excuse me. Let's see what else. More special guests will include musical director Billy Goldenberg, Alan Bly, guitarist Mike Deasy, and Tammy Lamani George. The belly dancer who performed during Little Egypt. So check that out. That sounds kind of cool. I love the Conversations on Elvis. They're always a lot of fun. You get to hear a lot of stuff you've never heard before, and there's opportunity to meet a lot of these people. Up next is the Elite Package Holder evening reception. It's at 5 p.m. at the Grand Ballroom at the Guest House. You got to be an Elite Package Holder to go. So I don't even know what's happening at that, but whatever. I don't do all that elite crap. I'll skip that. Up next is the 68 Special 50th Anniversary Celebration. This is at 7 p.m. at the Graceland Soundstage. It's $55 for a ticket. And once again, I have no idea if you have to also pay for a ticket. Surely you don't have to pay the $30 or the whatever it is. Is it $12 to... I'm not sure how much. It's $17, something like that, to go over there. And I don't know. They have like a discounted rate once you go over to the Memphis. The next time you go, it's supposed to be a little bit cheaper. I'm not really sure exactly what it costs, but hopefully you don't have to pay twice to go into this. But anyway, it's the 68 Special 50th Anniversary Celebration, 7 p.m. at the Soundstage. $55. They should have had it at $50 since it was the 50th anniversary, but oh well. They didn't ask my opinion. Next, Friday, August 17th, is the Tupelo, Mississippi birthplace. Man, they're doing this again. Okay, they're going one more trip there, but this is already sold out. I can't believe that. Sold out, $99 adult, $79 children, under 5, you ain't going. Next up is Conversations on Elvis Connections. This is at 10 a.m. at the Graceland Soundstage. It's $25. It's hosted by Tom Brown, and special guests for this include Ann Moses, who was editor at Tiger Beat magazine from 65 to 72, and she sat on stage for the 68 Comeback Special. That's a strange thing to be famous for, sitting on stage. But at least she also has the Tiger Beat thing, so I guess that's cool. Let's see what else here. Billy Blackwood, James Blackwood's younger son, who toured with Voice, the opening act for Elvis Presley in the 1970s. Donna Rhodes Morris, who was called to American Sound Studios by Chips Moman to sing harmony on the original Elvis recording of In the Ghetto, Kentucky Rain, and Suspicious Minds. Also joining them will be country singer T.G. Shepherd. He actually turned the lights on for the Christmas lights on at Graceland a couple of years ago. And Mark Cogan, who worked with Concerts West to promote Elvis concert tours. So if you're interested in that, check it out. It's $25. It's at the Soundstage. Next is Party at Elvis Presley's Memphis, 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. It's $45. Good Lord. Everything is so expensive. Spend the evening with Elvis as you enjoy this special party at the Memphis complex. The party will feature live music and complimentary hors d'oeuvres. Plus, experience all the exhibits, meet a Graceland archivist who can answer your Elvis questions, and try your luck at Elvis trivia. So it doesn't say anything about any special guest there, so I'm not really sure what. I guess you're paying $45. So you're paying almost twice what it would normally cost you to visit the event. I guess they're going to have some really nice hors d'oeuvres. I'm not really sure. And there's a cash bar, so there's not even free drinks. You have to pay for your drinks too. So I'll be skipping that. Saturday, August 18th is the Memphis Delta Blues Tour. It departs the guest house at Graceland at 8:30 a.m. and returns at 6:30 p.m. $119 for adults, $89 for children 5 to 12. If you're under 5, once again, you are not welcome. They do not like people under 5 for some reason. And I think this is the second time this has been listed. So I'll recap it. You get to see the Gateway to Blues Museum, Delta Blues Museum, Grammy Museum, Mississippi, Southern Sounds at Dockery Farms, lunch on your own at Ground Zero Blues Club in Clarksdale, Mississippi. I'm not sure if you have to pay for your lunch or not. I'm guessing since it says lunch on your own, maybe you're going to have to pay for that too. At least you won't have to pay for your 4-year-olds since they're not welcome. I guess they'll have to stay at home and eat a peanut butter sandwich or something. Next up is the Elvis Week brunch. It's at 9:30 a.m. at the Grand Ballroom at the Guest House at Graceland. It's $45. You get to enjoy a classic Memphis breakfast buffet at the Guest House while enjoying special Elvis program. It's hosted by Tom Brown, and it will also include Elvis's drummer Ronnie Tutt. And it looks like it. So it's $45, and you can possibly meet Ronnie Tutt. He's a nice guy. I've met him 2-3 times. Up next is T.G. Shepherd and Kelly Lang in concert. This is at 3 p.m. at the Guest House Theater at the Guest House at Graceland. It's $25, so that's actually a decent price to go see a concert. T.G. Shepherd, I did a 2 or 3 question interview with him when he did the Christmas lighting at Graceland a couple of years ago. He'll be there with his wife, Kelly Lang. I'm not sure who that is, other than his wife. But if you're interested in his music, I don't really know any of his songs offhand, but I'm sure he had some big hits. Up next is Elvis live in concert with an all-star band. It's at 7 p.m. at the Graceland Soundstage. It's $55. Celebrate the king of rock and roll's greatest hits with Elvis live in concert and on the big screen. In the tradition of Elvis' legendary live concerts, a live rock and roll all-star band will accompany Elvis. With former members of the Stamps Quartet and a very special guest appearance by TCB band member Ronnie Tutt. So check that out if you're interested. I'm guessing this is going to be similar to the concerts they had at the Pyramid back in the early 2000s, where they would have Elvis's band members play while Elvis was singing on a large screen. Unfortunately, at this point, most of his band members have either passed away or are just too old to really be doing this now. I'm assuming. It's got to be very difficult. A lot of them have got to be in their 80s. It's got to be difficult to get up there and perform for 2 hours or so. So anyway, not knocking them at all. They're all really great musicians and great people. Multiple day events. The Graceland Mansion Tours. This is every day. So anytime you want to go see the Mansion Tour, you can go do that any day during Elvis Week. I'm not exactly sure what the times are. You'll have to check Graceland.com for that. But I would recommend either going at the very beginning of Elvis Week or the very end. If you go in the middle, especially don't go on the 15th. It's going to be packed. You're going to be rushed through Graceland. You're not going to get to see very much. You want to go on a day where there's not that many people there. So I'm guessing the first 2 or 3 days of Elvis Week and the last 2 or 3 days of Elvis Week, they're not going to be that many people. Not compared to the 14th, 15th, and 16th. Those days are going to be really, really insane. Or they're going to be much more crowded. I forget this is the year after an anniversary. Last year was the really big year. All right, you also have my favorite thing at Elvis Week. This is the Elvis Week Entertainment Tent. It used to be the tent at Graceland Crossing, and you have performers all day long from noon until 10 or 11 at night. You have different ETAs. Some amateurs get up and do karaoke all day long. It's a really fun place, especially on the 15th. They have some of the biggest names in the business, like Dean Z, Cody Slaughter. They'll get up and do a show. Franz Govarts, he's done it many years in the past. So that's a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it used to be free. Now you have to actually buy an armband, or you have to buy a ticket to the Elvis Presley's Memphis complex, which is almost $30, and then they give you an armband to get in there. So they call it free, but it's not free. It does say here there's free parking after 5 p.m., so that's something, I guess. Also, Lowell Hayes Trunk Show. This is 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. August 10th through the 15th. Okay, I'm not really sure what all that is. But then there's evening entertainment at the Guest House from August 10th through the 18th in the Lobby Lounge. I'm not sure what that's going to be. Doesn't have any details. It just says more details and performers to come. Meet and greet with Joe Petruccio. He does a lot of drawings and paintings of Elvis. He's a really talented guy. So that's going to be going on. Okay, that's multiple day event. Just go to Graceland.com. I don't want to list all these. There's a ton of different times that he's going to be there. But I'd say the first time is going to be on the 12th, and the last time looks to be on the 15th. So you got several days there to check that out. Meet and greet with Betty Harper from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the 12th through the 15th at the Guest House at Graceland Gift Shop. She's an artist, it says. Morning, okay, and finally on this page anyway, is morning and evening walk-ups to Meditation Gardens. You will be able to walk up there from 7:30 a.m. to 8:15 the 10th to the 15th of August, and from 7:30 to 8:30 the 17th through the 19th. This is free, and I'm assuming you don't have to have the armband because it doesn't say it. So if you want to go pay your respects away from the candlelight vigil, you can do that. It doesn't say you have to have an armband. There's one more event I want to mention because actually I want to mention two things going on. There will be performers at the Magnuson Hotel, which is formerly known. A lot of people know it as the Clarion. That's what I always refer to it. Mary Jo Beck puts on shows, and they're a lot of fun. And they're usually going on. There's usually multiple shows each day of Elvis Week, probably starting, I'm guessing, on the 9th or the 10th, all the way through the last day of Elvis Week. So you can go there, check out a lot of performers. I know in the past she's had Franz has done a lot of shows there. Who else? Richard Wolff does a lot of shows there. Nick Perkins, Kayvon. There's a lot of performers. So I mean, a lot of big time tribute artists will be doing shows there. So if you're interested in any of them, go check that out. You can find out information in the lobby of the Magnuson Hotel. And lastly, I want to mention one of my favorite events. It takes place at the Daisy in Graceland, which is across the street and down just a little bit from Graceland. It's the Daisy and Pool Party. This is I think the 11th year. Colin Paul puts it on. He's the host and the main performer, and he usually has a couple of guest performers get up and do a few numbers, but he does a great job. He usually starts around 6:30 p.m. and it'll run till 11:30 at night. It's a lot of fun too. I don't know how he does it. He just sings and sings and sings, and he has a fantastic voice. Most important thing is this is a free event. You do not have to have a wristband. You don't have to buy any kind of tickets to anything to go to this. All you have to do is show up, and hopefully you can find a seat because it's usually pretty packed. But come to this if you want a free, awesome event. Come check out the Daisy and Pool Party with Colin Paul. And a lot of times there's free water, free soda, and sometimes even free pizza. In the past there was free beer, but they cut that out a couple of years ago. But you're still welcome to bring your own beer, and feel free to bring some for us. All right, I hope you guys understood what I was saying and enjoyed this. And if you're coming to Elvis Week, let me know. And if I missed any events, also let me know, and I'll mention them in a future podcast. Also, if you're a tribute artist and you have a private show, or not a private show, but a show that's not part of EPE's list of events, let me know and I'll give your event a shout out. All right, thanks guys.
I'd like to tell you what fantastic I'd like to do this song especially from Blue Hawaii.